The epithelium tissue also has glands, and glands are of three types: endocrine, exocrine, heterocrine. Pancreas is heterocrine. This is the transverse section of a pancreas. Here you can see pancreatic lobes which have columnar cells. This is the exocrine parts, and it secretes pancreatic juice. The islets of Langerhans, that is endocrine parts, secretes hormones, and this is carried by blood, not by tubes. Depending upon function of glands, there are three types: merocrine, holocrine, and apocrine. In merocrine, this cell filled with the secretion is also removed after diffusion. By diffusion, here only the secretion goes away from the cell, not the cell is destroyed, and it is found in salivary, gastric, intestinal, and sudorific glands. Holocrine, here the secretion collects in the entire cell, and the entire cell along with the secretion is discharged. The cell gets destroyed, only found in sebaceous glands. Apocrine glands, secretion collects in the apical part of the cell, and then only apical part is pinched out. Only apical part is pinched out, therefore entire cell is not destroyed. Example: mammary gland and sweat gland of arm. Specialized epithelial tissues, these are not grouped in any other thelium: neurothelium and myothelium. Neurothelium are found in taste buds and olfactory receptor. Myothelium contain actin and myosin protein and have contractile property found in mammary and salivary gland. Connective tissues, most abundant tissue in our body, and it is mesodermal energy called as connective tissue because they form the function of the linings various linking various tissues in an organ. Some of the cells of connective tissue are also called as fibroblasts. They secrete fibers made up of structural protein, collagen, and elastin. They also secrete modified polysaccharides which will form extracellular fluid, also known as matrix or ground substance. It will act as binder, binding various cells in tissue together. Blood is a fluid in connective tissue and has fiberless matrix. The matrix is not secreted by cells themselves but is formed by fluid that we intake. All different types of connective tissues are put under two categories. These are connective tissue proper and specialized. Connective tissue proper is again of two types: loose and dense. Loose has high matrix, low fibers. Dense has more fibers, less matrix. Loose is of two types: areolar adipose. Dense is of three types: white connective tissues, ligaments, tendons. Specialized connective tissues of two types: supportive fluid. Supportive has blood, bone, and cartilage in it, and fluid is for blood, lymph. Specialized connective tissue is called such because they have specialized matrix. Areolar connective tissue, or this is also known as packaging connective tissue, more matrix and less fibers. Here, present below the lining of epithelia, all of visceral hollow organs. It is present between different tissues of organs. This is called packaging tissue because it forms the packaging between tissues of an organ. It connects the muscles with the skin. Cells of alveolar areolar tissue have following cells. Cells of areolar tissue are following. Number one, primary cell. The primary cell of areolar tissue is fibroblast. Fibroblast produces maximum amount of matrix in it. It also secretes fibers made up of structural proteins. Fibers such as collagen and elastin are major. Collagen is made up of collagen protein, elastin made up of elastin protein. Collagen are white fiber, elastin yellow fiber. Collagen protein is extracellular protein, most abundant protein in the animal world. Almost 40% of all the proteins in our blood is collagen. Most abundant protein in the biosphere is rubisco, ribulose, bisulfate, carboxylase, and oxygenase. Collagen fibers have great tensile strength. They are thick, wavy, and unbranched. When boiled in water, they form gelatin protein. They are the first to cover wound in case of energy. Very important point. Elastic fibers are thin and branched, and boiled in water, they do not form gelatin. They are thin and branched. Also, secondly, macrophages. Function is phagocytosis. Monocytes, that is WBC, are transferred into macrophages. Macrophages of areolar connective tissue are called as histiocytes or plasmatocytes. Mast cells or mastocytes, they have similar function to basophils of WBC, and there are three chemicals: histamine, heparin, and serotonin. Heparin is a natural anticoagulant in the blood. Histamine is an inflammatory molecule which is capable of vasodilation of arteries. It is released due to allergy reaction, results into harsh rashes and patches of blood. Serotonin is a 5-HT, that is 5-hydroxy tetraamine. It is a tetraphan amino acid. It is generally vasoconstrictor but also released during allergic reaction. Also, cells found here are B lymphocytes and adipocytes. B lymphocytes are clone cells of beta cells. Clones of beta cells are known as plasma cells. They secrete antibodies. Now, adipose tissue. These cells are adipocytes here. Main cells are adipocytes here. Also of two types, white and brown. White present in adults, unilocular, that is single follicle filled with fat. There is single singlet ring shaped cell, and 90% of it is vacuole fat, and the rest has nucleus and cytoplasm in the periphery. Brown adipose has in the it's present in the 80% of baby fat, infant fat, and embryo, and rodents, and hibernating mammals like polar bear. And also it is multilayer, that is a number of droplets of fat in single vacuole. Human babies never shiver at the time of birth due to brown presence of brown adipose. It is very rich in mitochondria, which contains iron containing cytochrome, and thus baby does not shiver. When a person gains weight, number of adipocytes will increase. No, and also it will constant. The statement is false because in adult number of adipocytes is fixed. They do not multiply. When a person gains weight, the size of adipose becomes larger, and when he loses weight, the size will decrease. Adipose tissue is present in blubber of camel. It forms a cushion around vital organs, and here it acts as sort of rubber. Dense connective tissues. They have completely packed collagen fibers and yellow fibers. Due to this, they are stronger than loose connective proper tissue. Depending upon orientation of fiber, we can divide them as dense, regular connective tissue, connective proper, and other will be dense, irregular, connective proper tissue. Dense irregular, dense irregular. Fibers are present in the form of parallel bundles but not in the form of network bundles in dense regular, and fibers present in form of network in dense irregular. The dense regular tendon and ligament, and dense irregular dermis of skin. Leather is only dermis of cattle.